Over the past year, I've been testing a lot of third-party lenses for the Sony E-mount. Some of them were better than others, but a lot of times, these third-party lenses were never bad. They got the job done quite well. And in today's video, I want to share with you guys my top 5 lenses that I've tested over the year for the Sony E-mount. And if you guys are wondering why your favorite lens isn't in this video, well, it's because I also shoot with a Fujifilm and I recently acquired a Nikon. So there's only so much I could do. If it's not here, it's probably because I haven't tested it yet, and for that I apologize. Now with that out of the way, let's get started. Now this lens is awesome just for its sheer size. It's so freaking tiny. It's the smallest full frame lens that I've come across. And now I don't know how Viltrox is doing it, but for that alone, I put it on this list. It's so unique because when you pair this with a Sony A7C II, it just makes for such a small compact setup for your everyday camera, whether it's for your travels or your documentary work and etc. This lens is a fixed aperture lens, so you're stuck at aperture f4.5. Now I guess this is how they're able to keep it in this pancake nature. And this lens also has autofocusing as well, and it's coming in at $99. It also takes some sharp images at f4.5. Overall, I just like the small pancake package that this lens has to offer, and this is why this lens is coming in at number 5. When TTArtisans sent me this lens, I wasn't expecting much. All I know was it was going to be an f1.4 lens, but it's not an autofocusing lens. And I don't mind manual focusing with this lens because it was pretty easy. Without much expectations, I was using this lens for some portrait photography and some everyday travel type of lens. I found my experience to be quite delightful. I was walking around town paired with my Sony A7C II, and I was very happy with the results I got, even more so in my portraits. One of my favorite focal length to shoot portraits with is the 35mm focal length because it can capture a wider scene, something 50mm or an 85mm lens cannot do. I really like to incorporate some context into my portraits sometimes so people can see what the subject is doing or where the subject is for the story. Now at f1.4, I thought the bokeh was quite nice. It has a nice pop to the image, and the bokeh was really smooth for a 35mm focal length. I was quite pleased with the images that I got. The build quality of this lens is very good as well, and it's only coming in at $189, which makes it a very great lens for the budget-friendly folks out there who's looking for something with a wide aperture but also in a small package. This lens is a full-frame lens, and it paired very well with my Sony A7C II, and this is why this lens is coming in at number 4. Now this lens is probably one of the unique lenses that any third-party brands have put out. For the most part, when one company puts out a lens, let's just say a 50mm lens, the Nifty 50, it seems like the trend for other companies will be to follow their own version of the Nifty 50, and you see this on and on again. One company makes a 50mm lens, and then you'll see other companies, and then so on with 85, and then other people jump on. So it's kind of refreshing for TTArtisans to make a full frame 75mm f2 lens with autofocusing, by the way, and the autofocusing paired on my Sony A7C II made it work quite well, and I was so delighted. What is even more great is the compact size of this lens. This lens is pretty light compared to other lenses in similar focal ranges, something like the 85mm f1.8s or the f1.4s as well. So this lens made it very light enough for me to walk around town with it, and it made it very fun. The lens also offers some decent compression as well, and when you shoot it wide open, you're going to get some beautiful background blur. This lens offers such a unique experience at a great price point too, which is around $200. And this is why this lens is coming in at number 3. Coming in at number 2 is the Sirui 85mm f1.4 Aurora. Now this lens just came out not too long ago, but I can tell by the performance that this lens was going to be one of the better lenses that I've tried for the Sony E-mount lenses. Now I have to say that Sirui has been killing it when it comes to their lens releases over the past couple of years. It started out with their manual anamorphic lens, then they moved on to Nightwalker's Cine lenses, and then they also have the Sniper series lens, which is their first introductions to autofocusing lens, but those lenses are APS-C lenses. And now this lens right here, the Sirui 85mm f1.4 Aurora. This lens is crazy good. The image quality is outstanding, and I was using it to shoot some portrait photography. And let me tell you, the images that I got were just so good, man. It's just so beautiful. The rendering, the compression, and has just like such a nice 3D pop to an image. Like, I just really love how beautiful this lens is. The build quality of this lens is nice also. It is weather sealed. It has an aperture dial, AF toggle switch, and a customizable button. The materials they use to make this lens feels like my Sony 50mm f1.4 G Master lens. It's high quality stuff, but for a fraction of the price, coming in at $500, $600 right now. I personally enjoyed shooting with this lens, and I really like the look coming from this lens. And I can't wait to see what Sirui does next with their Aurora line. I'm hoping for a 35mm f1.4 and a 50mm f1.4 in the near future with the same performance as the 85. And this is why this lens is coming in at number 2. Coming in at number 1 on this list is no other than the Sigma 24 to 70mm f2.8 DG/DN Art Mark II. Oh man, that's quite a mouthful, man. Now, truth be told, I don't shoot with zoom lens often. I'm a prime shooter myself. When I first started using this lens, I was immediately met with precision autofocusing on my Sony A7C II and crispy, sharp images at f2.8. And then at that time, I was also reminded that this is a variable focal length, and I can start zooming in and out, making this a very versatile lens. I didn't have to zoom in with my feet. The images that I got were nothing but spectacular. I shoot a lot of portraits, and shooting this on the long end at f2.8 gave me a nice separation, even if it was at f2.8. The build quality is also high quality stuff, man. It's made with a nice heft to it. I like how they use metal construction, and it just feels very premium to hold. It is weather sealed. It has the linear motors for fast autofocusing, and I've been using it for my portrait work and my travel landscape stuff here and there. And it's just been amazing to just carry one lens whenever I go on these mini day trips here in the Algarve. Now, if you compare this lens to something like the Sony 24 to 70 G Master lens, which is $1,000 more, the Sigma 24 to 70 f2.8 Mark II Art Series lens delivers on price and performance. And this is why this lens is coming in at number 1. Alrighty folks, there you have it. These are my top lenses that I've tried for the Sony E-mount for the year 2024. Now let me put it back to you guys. What's your top 5 Sony E-mount lenses? Do let me know in the comment section below. And if you guys are interested in any of these lenses, and if you want more information, I'll leave the link to them down in the description below. And do me a favor and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel for more Sony content. I can't wait to see what these companies come out with next in the year 2025. And thanks so much